My name's Katie, 26 years old, juggling part-time work and homemaking duties. Meet my husband Timmy and our little family of 3. Timmy and I crossed paths at a mixer I reluctantly attended just to fill in the numbers. Nervous as I was, Timmy took the initiative to strike up a conversation, instantly brightening the mood. Surprisingly, we hit it off and decided to swap contact details. As we kept in touch, a spark ignited between us, leading to us starting to date. Who could have guessed I'd find love at a mixer? After our first date, I excitedly told my older sister Talia about Timmy. Her reaction? She burst into laughter, saying, "Seriously? I never imagined you'd find a boyfriend at a mixer. I thought you'd go for someone from work or somewhere more predictable." I've always been the shy type, not exactly a social butterfly. Jasmine has yet to marry and doesn't seem to have a boyfriend. It seems she relishes her solo lifestyle, finding it more relaxed and cozy. She doesn't seem keen on tying the knot or getting into a relationship. While I can relate to that perspective, my heart is fixed on a life with Timmy. Imagining our journey ahead with marmiage and kids fills me with joy. Walking back home after talking to Talia, a smile spontaneously lit up my face. Fast forward a few years, and I found myself happily married to Timmy. I still vividly recall the moment he popped the question. Overwhelmed with joy and tears streaming down our faces, we stepped into a new apartment, marking the beginning of our married journey. Having lived apart before tying the knot, being with Timmy every day felt like living in a dream. Our work schedules often clashed, so it was rare for us to return home simultaneously. Still, we made sure to share meals and snuggle under the same blanket, cherishing every moment together. On weekends, we'd unwind at home or take leisurely drives, savoring our time as a couple. In these ordinary yet magical moments, a newfound happiness blossomed, and then came the greatest blessing of all, the birth of our daughter. A few months later, a tiny bundle of joy arrived, filling our hearts with an indescribable love. We named her Mia, a name that holds profound meaning for us. Since her arrival, I've felt an unparalleled sense of fulfillment and happiness. Our families showered us with love and blessings, celebrating Mia's arrival with a shower of gifts. Just before giving birth to Mia, I had resigned from my job to fully dedicate myself to my family. Timmy, always having me in his thoughts, helped with housework and childcare, even when he was presumably tired. "I'll take care of Mia, so you can rest for a bit. Thank you, truly, always. I truly married a wonderful person." Living with Timmy, who treasures us, has truly been a heartwarming experience. However, a few years later, I would deeply regret marrying Timmy. Several years after Mia's birth, Timmy suddenly resigned from his job. Timmy began to explain the detailed reasons to me, who was taken aback by the abrupt news. Apparently, he had been having issues with a new superior at work, which seemed to have taken a toll on his mental well-being. He reached his breaking point and decided to quit. I understand why he left his job, but something bothers me. If it was that tough for him, why hadn't he consulted with me even once? Of course, if a husband faces challenges at work, resigning is one of the options. But right now, our family relies on Timmy's salary. He should have discussed such a significant decision with me before acting on it. That was so sudden. Have you already thought about your next job? Yeah, don't worry. I'll figure something out. Rujan's vague response didn't ease my worries. However, it seems the only thing I can do now is trust him. Fortunately, Rujan found a new job relatively quickly. That's a relief. I also considered working, but since Mia is still young, I want to be there for her at home. Is everything okay at the new workplace? Have you settled in? Yeah, somehow. Did something happen? Are you not getting along with your boss or colleagues? I told you, I'm fine. Don't worry too much. Look, I'll take care of Mia, so you go and take a bath. Really? Thank you. He seemed different from usual, but I felt that prying further might upset him, so I handed Mia to him and headed to the bath. Then, a few days later, Timmy came home looking dejected. As I tried to ask him what had happened, memories of the past flashed through my mind. I recalled the time when he suddenly announced his resignation. Did he quit his job again within such a short period? Sadly, my suspicions seemed to be right. I quit my job. Why? I just couldn't get along with the people there. I couldn't stand being constantly directed by someone much younger than me. I just couldn't bear it anymore. I see. But we'll get through this. We'll find another job. I'll help in any way I can. Suddenly, Timmy's expression changed, and he raised his voice at me. Hey, what's with that look? You don't like that I quit? You are able to eat, because I work. You just stay at home and you're acting all high and mighty. After saying that, he threw his bag onto the living room table. What's gotten into you all of a sudden? Shut up, just be quiet. Unable to contain his anger, Timmy grabbed a whiskey from the fridge and downed it in one gulp. I'd never seen him this angry before. At that moment, I felt terrified. I've always been grateful to him and tried to be supportive as much as possible. An extremely angry Timmy shouted at me for a while and then plopped down on the sofa, looking grumpy. I was so shocked that all I could do was accept his words, and this incident created a rift in our relationship. Since then, Timmy has been in a cycle of finding and quitting jobs. We lived in uncertainty and experienced many anxious days. Timmy, can't you be a bit more serious about your job? At first, I tried to understand his feelings and said nothing, but given the circumstances, I couldn't keep silent any longer. You're annoying. If you have complaints, then you work and earn money. You rely too much on me. But there's Mia to consider. So what's your point? Lately, Timmy has been gradually losing interest in Mia and seems to be avoiding her. When Mia was born, he took great care of her and was genuinely happy. Observing Timmy now, he felt like a completely different person. No matter how much I pleaded, Timmy showed no interest in continuing his work. Eventually, I decided to entrust Mia to Jasmine and started working on my own. I'm really sorry for having to leave her with you. It's okay. Mia and I will wait together. Okay. Mia, who had just started attending kindergarten, wasn't a major concern when it came to leaving her with someone. Part of it was because I trusted Jasmine to take care of her. But Timmy was also remarkably mature and calm for her age. She showed interest in newspapers, read them on her own, and could even write long and somewhat complex sentences. Mia had a quiet disposition and was exceptionally composed for her age. When she started attending kindergarten, I was concerned about whether she'd be able to make friends. Would she be able to communicate effectively with others besides me? However, it turned out I didn't need to worry. Mia made many friends in kindergarten and enjoyed her time there. As a parent, that was the most heartwarming thing to witness. Given the situation, I felt it would be no problem for me to work outside the home. When I started looking for a job, I found one quicker than expected. Thus, I began working full-time. The pay was better than I had anticipated. Even if Timmy quit his job, our finances would probably stabilize. Thankfully, the work environment was also pleasant. Despite the busy days, I enjoyed working. A few years after I began working, Timmy finally found a stable job. He might have finally found a workplace that satisfied him. Upon learning this, I felt a profound sense of relief. Timmy's demeanor started to brighten over time, and he seemed to return to the man I knew in the early days of our mariage. He became considerate of the challenges I faced, juggling work and family, often asking, Has it been tough? Aren't you tired? I was a bit taken aback by this transformation. Perhaps job stability had given Timmy peace of mind. Mia was growing up healthily, and Timmy started acting like a caring father to her once again. Seeing Mia play joyfully with Timmy always warmed my heart. Still, the thought of returning to the way things were before made me anxious about leaving my job. Therefore, I continued to rely on Jasmine for childcare. How's Mia? Is she looking well? Don't worry, she's playing happily. If Mia is doing well, I can be at ease. I'd probably continue to depend on Talia. I had been considering treating Jasminetto something she liked as a token of my appreciation. Several years went by, and Mia was now in the 3rd grade of elementary school. She attended school every day with great enthusiasm. The family's bond was just like before, harmonious and loving. I wondered what had caused the previous rift between Timmy and me. Our home life felt so stable, almost as if the past problems had been forgotten. Then one day Timmy made a suggestion. Ever think about getting a new car? A new car? Yeah. Our current car is good, but I think it's reaching the end of its life. It's becoming a hassle to maintain. Indeed, the car we were using had been purchased quite a while ago. Over the years, issues increased and the repair costs started to pile up. You might be right. Maybe we should consider a new car. Yes, I knew you'd agree. By the way, I've already got some catalogs. Already? Thanks. I didn't expect him to be this eager about replacing the car. I was a bit surprised, but we started looking through the catalogs together. Mia, come here. Which car do you want to ride in? Let's decide together. He called Mia over, and the 3 of us enjoyed flipping through the car catalogs together. However, I couldn't have imagined that this day would mark the beginning of an unexpected turn of events. A few months later, the new car that the 3 of us chose was delivered. The car we bought was a brand new model costing over $15,000. The loan was under my name. Generally, people would expect Timmy's name on the loan, but considering his unstable work history, we were concerned about being rejected. I was determined to work even harder from now on and pay off the loan. I was sure Timmy felt the same way. That's what I believed, but my hopes were shattered in an instant. Timmy stopped coming home. He disappeared along with the newly purchased car. Could it be that Timmy got involved in some kind of trouble? What should I do? At that moment, my cell phone rang. The call was from Timmy. Hello, Timmy. What are you doing? Where are you now? Out of concern, my voice raised unintentionally. Hey, calm down. But you disappeared all of a sudden, and the new car is gone. What happened? Did you get caught up in some trouble? I tried to convey how I had worried every day until then, but Timmy laughed at my concerns and said something unbelievable. Actually, I've found a new lover. She's more important to me than you. What? What do you mean? Let me be clear. I've fallen in love with someone else. I've already taken care of the divorce notice. I'd appreciate it if you stopped getting involved. Wait, divorce? I can't believe this. I was shocked by the mention of a divorce notice. However, I remembered a discussion we had during a big fight a while ago. Submitting the application to the court means that both parties agree to the divorce. I deeply regretted letting my emotions take control at that time. Oh, by the way, I have a debt. I'm counting on you to repay it. What? How much debt are we talking about? I think $300,000, give or take. I'm leaving all the repayments to you. With those words, Timmy abruptly hung up the phone. I never thought something like this would happen to me. Were all of his kind smiles in the past just lies? As these thoughts crossed my mind, I could feel the strength drain from my body. Mum, what happened? As I slumped to the floor, Mia rushed over, looking concerned. It's okay, honey. Thank you. I tried to put on a brave face, but inside, I was filled with anxiety. How will I manage our life now with such a massive debt looming over us. The thought of the $300,000 made me feel suffocated. On top of that, there was still the car loan to think about. In a state of panic, I thought to check my bank balance. I searched the closet, drawers, kitchen, bedroom, everywhere. My ATM card was nowhere to be found. Frantically, I launched my bank app on my smartphone. To my horror, the account balance had significantly decreased. Of course, I had no memory of withdrawing such an amount. Timmy was the only suspect. I tried to contact him, but of course there was no response from Timmy. It's all over. With my mind going blank, I thought I should focus on earning money. I decided to keep this a secret from Jasmine Eto, avoid unnecessary worry. Of course, I also kept it from young Mia. A few weeks after Timmy disappeared, I lost consciousness at work. When I came to, I found myself lying in a hospital bed. Where am I? Katie, are you awake? Sis, Talia, with a shaken expression, entered the room with Mia standing beside her. It seemed I had fainted due to extreme stress. I was also told that I needed to be hospitalized for several days for detailed examinations. Hospitalized. What should I do? After your discharge, let's talk about Timmy. Mia told me everything. Mia told you? Did you know? Actually, I overheard Dad's phone call. I was surprised to find out that Mia knew the truth. When it was time for my discharge, I felt down a bit. For Jasmine, I might point out that I wasn't supposed to let her know about it. Then, the next day, various tests were conducted. The results revealed that my poor health was due to cancer. Fortunately, it was still in the early stages and there was hope for recovery through surgery. Although the surgery went well and I was discharged, returning to work immediately seemed impossible. I had no savings and medical bills were piling up. During these challenging times, Jasmine and Mia became my pillars of support. When Mia explained the situation with Timmy and my current state to Talia, Jasmine was even more furious than I had anticipated. Jasmine tried to locate Timmy with a plan to make him repay the debt and medical bills. But his whereabouts remained unknown. We don't have any leads on Timmy's current location. What do we do? It was then that Jasmine came up with a suggestion. The car that's under your name, Timmy has it, right? How about we try to get it back? Is that really possible? As I asked in surprise, Jasmine shared more information. Actually, I found out where Timmy is currently working. Surprisingly, Timmy seemed to be working for a different company inside the building where Jasmine works, though Jasmine usually opts for remote work. She occasionally visits the office and has reportedly seen him there. Knowing this, we can move forward with our plan. Then let's go to Timmy's place right away. I was eager to confront Timmy immediately. If we didn't take action soon, he might disappear again. However, Jasmine stopped me. Don't rush. We need a solid plan, not just a hasty approach. Mia and I have come up with a good idea. That's right, a plan. Both of them exchanged smiles. I couldn't grasp the profound implications behind their demeanor. Watching them silently, Mia beamed and reassured me, saying, "Don't worry, everything's set up." What kind of scheme had they hatched? They didn't provide the specifics, but everything became clear a month later. While at Talia's house, there was a sudden incoming call. Checking the caller ID, it was from Timmy. I initially ignored the call, but it kept coming in repeatedly. Something must have happened. Gathering my voice, "Hey, help me out, please." "What?" "I'll explain everything later. Just get here now. I'm about to be arrested." Timmy shared his current location and quickly ended the call. Having over Mia-a'd the conversation, Jasmine and Mia finally revealed the turn of events. Actually, we reported the car as stolen, and the idea, that was Mia's. Impressive, right? Mia blushed and looked down. Filled with gratitude, I expressed my thanks to the two of them and hurried to the place where Timmy was waiting. The park, he specified, was surprisingly close to my home. There were police officers gathered around Timmy. He seemed to be interrogated about something. We hurriedly approached Timmy's vicinity. First, we explained the situation to the police officers and had them leave. Afterward, Timmy ushered us into his car and began narrating the events that led to this. Glancing inside the car, a confident-looking woman sat boldly in the passenger seat. Her legs crossed. She stared at us with a cold gaze. But why did the police come to me? He had been surrounded and questioned by the police, yet he didn't hear anything they said. I was so dumbfounded that I couldn't find words. Because I reported the car as stolen. After all, that car is mine. What? We're divorced, so we have no current ties. Thus, the current situation paints a picture of Timmy as unauthorizedly using another person's car. Reporting it stolen was the natural course of action. He probably never expected to be reported for car theft. Mia furthered the conversation with Timmy, who was visibly shaken. "Dad, why did you leave us behind? Why won't you pay back the money yourself? Explain." Timmy let out a sigh and looked at us with an exasperated expression, but he remained silent. "If you're just going to remain silent, I'll report it to the police. Do you realize that using my name without permission is a crime?" Hearing this, Timmy began to talk bit by bit. He mentioned his mistress, Lily. Apparently, she recently joined the company where Timmy works. They connected during a company welcome party, which developed into a romantic relationship. And shockingly, about 3 months ago, he found out she was pregnant. Looking at Lily's stomach, it was evident that she was expecting. "So you chose her over us and left." That's a bad way to phrase it, isn't it? "But the fact remains you left, right?" Jasmine suddenly interjected, and Timmy seemed taken aback. Ignoring his surprised expression, Jasmine continued her line of questioning. She began to lash out at Timmy, criticizing his past actions, his irresponsible behavior towards the family, constantly changing jobs, and his quick temper often resulted in him raising his voice in anger. Timmy, deep in thought or perhaps just tuning her out, bowed his head and remained silent. Lily's face contorted in evident irritation at this. She continued to press him about the reason for the $300,000 debt, but he stayed mute. Then, seemingly unable to hold back any longer, Lily revealed a shocking truth. He borrowed money in his wife's name for me, gifting me a lot of luxury branded items. I was truly lucky. A debt of $300,000 due to gifts for Lily? What on earth did he buy? From her story, it can be inferred that he purchased several expensive luxury items. It's hard to believe. But what was more curious was how easily Lily revealed the reason for Timmy's debt. If they were in cahoots, revealing such information would put them at a disadvantage. While contemplating this, Mia posed a question to Lily. "Your belly's pretty big. Is it a baby? When are you due?" "In about 3 months, I guess." "Giving birth in 3 months?" That calculation didn't seem right. Considering she was supposedly impregnated 3 months ago, shouldn't there be more time? Jasmine, too, seemed to notice this inconsistency and pressed Lily further. "Is that baby really Timmy's? Isn't it odd for the baby to be due in 3 months? Whose child is it?" Jasmine voiced her suspicions directly. Although surprised, Lily didn't seem intent on hiding anything. "Actually, the child isn't Timmy's. I thought about keeping it a secret, but I figured it'd be a hassle to get further involved with him." "All right, spill it. That's why you came clean about the debt, huh?" "Well, being with Timmy is just pointless now, isn't it?" she quipped, the air thick with tension. I was itching to leave this place immediately. Meanwhile, Timmy fixed Lily with an incredulous gaze. "Hey, what's going on? You joking, right?" "Why would I be joking? I mean, every word. The tension escalated, suffocating the room further. In the midst of this, Jasmine stepped in decisively. "Okay, I'm dialing the cops." "Huh? What do you mean? I couldn't care less about either of you. But remember, borrowing money in Katie's name is a serious offense, and using the car without permission is illegal too, especially since Timmy and Katie are total strangers." Jasmine gestured for me to make the call to the police. Timmy and Lily scrambled to defend themselves, desperately trying to talk their way out of trouble. Despite their pleas, I proceeded with the call, indifferent to their protests. Before long, the wail of sirens filled the air, heralding the impending consequences. The tangled matters of debt and the car were now inexorably set on the path to resolution. Relief flooded through me, a weight lifted from my shoulders. Finally, order was restored. As the dust settled, Timmy and Lily found themselves entangled in legal proceedings. While they escaped incarceration, they were burdened with hefty responsibilities, compensation, debt repayment, and child support. Despite their attempts to negotiate lower payments through legal channels, Mia's covert recording stood as damning evidence, thwarting their efforts. The genesis of Mia's clandestine recording stemmed from a scene in a television show she had watched with Talia. While I admired her quick thinking, I couldn't help but question the influence of Talia's choice in entertainment. With the tumult behind us, Mia and I now reside with Talia, the transition seamless given the proximity of our previous abode to Mia's school. The car has been safely brought back, and it appears Timmy is finding a way to handle the debt. If Timmy hadn't made those mistakes initially, he wouldn't be dealing with these difficulties. Jasmine and Mia played a crucial role throughout this ordeal, and thanks to them, things are moving towards a resolution. I'll strive diligently from now on, aiming for a tranquil life with both of them.